Wait, what was that? Sounded like it came from inside the house. I'm going to investigate. Whoa! In today's episode, I build a witch farm, get distracted by an amethyst geode, and get kidnapped. Wait, hold on a minute, what? So, hello humans, I'm the AlienDoctor, but you can call me Alien, and let's get into it. First things first, you may be wondering why I need a witch farm in the first place, and that is for this thing. So I don't have a lot in my redstone chest at the moment, but that's because most of it's in my redstone shulker box, of which is reasonably empty. I mean, I don't know, recently I have got a little bit more redstone, but realistically, relatively speaking, this is not a lot of redstone. And if you've been around the channel for any decent length of time, you'll know that I do really like doing redstone and automation stuff, like this automatic item categorizer over here designed by Burning Skull that I built. However, if we hop, skip, and jump over to the other side, you'll see that the redstone is not fitted over here because I ran out of redstone when constructing this one. So that's one pretty good reason, if you ask me, to build a witch farm. So now you know why we need a witch farm, let's take a look at the design. Now, if you watched PinaCraft Season 3, then you may recognize this farm behind me. This is a witch farm, designed by me, of course, and I even have a tutorial on it if you want to learn all the ins and outs about how this design works, or you can just watch until a little bit later in the video, because I'll also explain how it works when I'm building it. But essentially, this is an incredibly simple witch farm, so I think first things first, let's take a look if this design still works, and if it does, we might as well go ahead and build it in the actual PinaCraft Season 4 world. So it should just be as simple as whacking a trident into there. There we go. And then flicking this lever to activate that little observer clock. And then flying all the way up to the AFK spot, where we should just wait, hold this looting 3 sword that's got a pretty good name, and hopefully some witches will spawn. Okay, and we can already see that XP is indeed moving up the item stream, which is pretty good. And yeah, we can see there that witches are actually spawning. So this design is actually working. This is good news. And I'm getting XP, which we don't even really need. So now we have the design out of the way. It's building time. However, before any good build, you of course have to gather the resources. Now, conveniently, the resources for this build aren't particularly that hard to get. However, there is one exception to this, and that is it uses a lot of tinted glass, because you can see through it, but it doesn't let any light through. Now, for tinted glass, you actually need amethyst shards, and I have absolutely zero idea how many amethyst shards we have. Oh, okay, we actually do have 59, which is not a small amount, to be fair. So with these 59 amethyst shards, we can craft 28 tinted glass, which is not really going to be enough tinted glass for us to build this farm. Even though we don't need a load of tinted glass, we still need some tinted glass. How many times can I say tinted glass in one sentence? Jeez. So clearly, there's only one solution to getting more tinted glass, and that's to find ourselves some more amethyst shards. Now, where do we find amethyst shards, you may ask? In a geode. I feel like that build-up was incredibly long. I probably should shorten that down, shouldn't I? Now, you may remember in the previous episode, we built this fungus and roots farm, and this is relevant because we are actually using these fungus and roots for the nether hub / tunnels that are currently being worked on by myself and Goldie. Now, the reason this is relevant is because we also need amethyst shards and amethyst crystals for said nether hub. So the first step to any sort of geode farming would be to find a geode. So I've popped onto Chunk Base and put in the PinaCraft Season 4 seed. And you can see here, this is actually my base location. And there is a couple of geodes nearby. So what I'm thinking is we just pick the nearest one, which is probably this one by the looks of things, and head over to that one and see how big it is and stuff. If it's a decent size, then we'll begin phase 2, which I'll show you in a second. So the first stage of my plan involves breaking a little hole in the side of my cliff so that I can steal back a conduit that I placed over here. I'm very sorry, my conduit friend, but I'm going to need to borrow you. And now that I've got the conduit, I'm going to place it into a box full of all of these various different resources, pick up that box and fly over to wherever this amethyst geode actually is. In fact, it's not actually that far at all, because it turns out it's actually somewhere under the water. Hello there. There are just all sorts of strange monsters under here. Jeez. And if my calculations are correct, I should just be able to dig all the way down here. However, it's probably a good idea to actually grab myself some soul sand because I quite like a bubble elevator. Go away. There's something else I'm forgetting about which would be quite helpful for this adventure, and that is my turtle shell. So there it is. Let's put that on. And now with all that out of the way, let's continue digging down. It's either we're going to dig down a 2-wide hole so that we can put in both the magma and the soul sand. Oh dear, it would now appear I'm drowning. Hopefully, we're just going to dig into that geode sooner than later. Otherwise, I'm going to drown here, which would be kind of awkward. Although I do have a totem on me. So I'm just going to keep digging. In fact, no, what am I doing? I literally have magma right here. Let me breathe. Why isn't it creating bubbles? It's not... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Why isn't it creating bubbles? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Totems. Yep, okay. This is bad. This is very, very bad. Okay, we're just gonna have to go up for air. But why didn't it create a bubble column? I don't understand. But why am I swimming so slowly? Oh, I get it. It's because this isn't all... Oh, obviously. This isn't all source blocks, so I could just do that. What a muppet. Jeez, professional Minecrafter right here. So what I actually need to do is go ahead and get out all of this ice and then make all of this bit basically solid, like, water sources instead of flowing blocks. But we'll do that after we finish digging down to the geode because I don't actually think it's that far away. Okay, well, apparently it should be at Y-47, which is where we are right now, and I can't seem to see it anywhere, so that's not looking insanely promising. So I've taken a look on the creative copy, and I have not been able to find any geodes in this area, which is a shame. Chunkbase clearly lied to me, how dare it. So I'm now going to start digging up. However, whilst I was taking a look at the creative copy, I did find a couple of geodes that were all in the same sort of area. I think I found 3 in total. Really? Well, anyway, I found 3 geodes all in the same area. So what I'm just going to do is dig an entirely new hole and then we'll cut back to when I've done that because I think you're probably tired of watching me dig holes by now. And we have successfully made it to the first geode, which is right here. So lovely. Now I've got to be very, very careful not to break the budding amethyst, I think they're called. Yes, here we are. Okay, here's the first geode. And that one is like literally directly in the way. Okay, well, that is the only budding geode that we're going to break, or amethyst, whatever it's called. I don't know the names of these things, okay? But we're going to break that one because that way we can actually build up a little bubble elevator right here because we need a way to get out, okay? So originally my plan was to go ahead and remove all of the surrounding blocks from the budding amethyst and then fill it up with water. But I quickly realized that that's actually quite a long process and I didn't actually need that many amethyst shards. So I ended up using basically all the ice I owned on trying to fill up the room and barely even making it halfway until I decided to just call it quits and do it another day. So these are all the amethyst shards I managed to get from that little trip, and that is going to give us 42 tinted glass. Paired with our 28 tinted glass, we now have a stack and 64. Now, it's just occurred to me, I've been like completely guessing how much tinted glass we need, but I've made a tutorial on this with a full materials list. So I'm just going to go and take a look at my tutorial. One moment, please. So here is my tutorial that I actually posted on May the 15th, 2022. And here is the beautiful materials list. It's 1 stack and 37 tinted glass. Wait, we don't have a stack and 37, do we? We have a stack and 6. Okay, well, I can go ahead and get some more glass. That's not a huge issue. So I didn't really have to do any specific resource gathering for this farm, other than, of course, the tinted glass. I just had to basically craft some stuff and get some stuff out of chests. It's a really, really cheap farm, which is one of the reasons I like my design so much. So now all we need to do is find ourselves a witch hut, and I do believe there is one in roughly this direction. I've just got to work out which direction that actually is. And here is the swamp, and there is our witch hut. Now, you may notice that there are these random stone chunks over here, and that is actually due to a bug with Minecraft Bedrock Edition server software. However, don't panic because I managed to fix the issue that was causing all the chunks to generate as stone. And here we are. We have found our witch hut, which seems to be a little bit broken. There is like a lot of witches and a lot of cats there. So I guess the first step would be to kill the witches. So, sorry, witches, but you're being killed now. And now that they're all killed, we could head up here. Oh, really? There's another. And now that they're all killed, I should just be able to head up here into the witch hut and actually destroy this entire section of it. And before we get too far into things, I'm going to go ahead and place down a nether portal because I obviously want to be able to get back to my base quite easily. And it's just occurred to me there's a couple of extra stuff that I kind of left at home. So going through that nether portal has ended up taking me here, and if I go through that portal, it will now take me to Iris's base. So this is not quite where I wanted to be. However, one helpful thing that I have just realized is that there is some spare obsidian here, which is good because I've actually entirely run out of obsidian, and I'm going to need some to make a new portal. No, not my obsidian. No, no. Oh no. Well, that was definitely not part of the plan. And after a quick fly back, I have now arrived at the witch hut once again. So what we need to do is head over here, copy the coordinates, and then real quickly divide these by 8, which leaves us with -41, -234. So now we're going to go back into the nether. Okay then, so if my calculations are correct, this should be the place that we need to build the portal in order for it to link correctly. So let's see, will this link to our witch farm portal? And I can see that it has indeed linked to our witch farm portal, where it's now night and surrounded by lots of scary things. But luckily I have a bed in my utility box because I'm prepared. So the first step of any witch farm is to find the spawn spots that the witches actually spawn on, and thanks to a resource pack I have applied, it makes that task incredibly easy. So this is Mad Hatter's technical resource pack for Bedrock Edition, of course, and we can see right here that the spawn spot the witches will spawn on is this block right here. And you can see no matter where we place the armor stand, as long as it's in the same chunk as the witch hut, it will always show this spot, which is how we know that this is indeed the correct spot. So now I'm essentially going to watch my own tutorial for my own farm because I've completely forgotten how to build this thing. One moment, please. And there we go, I have constructed the farm following the tutorial. But you may notice that we are missing a big bubble column that would normally take all the items up to the AFK spot where I could collect the XP and the storage system would be up here. Basically, I've decided that I don't need all the XP from this farm and I'm just going to burn it instead because there's not a lot of point in spending the extra resources to have all the XP come up to the top, when in reality I don't need it because I already have a guardian farm. So instead, we're just going to create a storage system on the ground right here, and that will do absolutely fine for our needs. So I've got a ton of chests, I've got my redstone box which has everything I should need inside it, so all I need to do now is build this storage system. Well, I have successfully constructed this storage system, as you can see. So it's just a pretty simple item filter, and then all the XP and overflow items will then go into fire at the end where they'll get burned because we don't need XP and we don't need the overflow items either. Now, these chests are actually going to be where shulker boxes are going to go so that we can easily transport items away from the storage to wherever we need them to be, I suppose. And the other thing to point out is that I have not actually added any items to the filters yet, so all of these filters are currently empty. But if we whack in an item just to do a quick test, that didn't quite go according to plan. Anyway, if we whack in an item to do a quick test, it should get perfectly aligned and go in the hopper. And there we go, it's now in that first hopper. Beautiful. Okay. So witches actually have quite a lot of different drops. In fact, they have 7 different drops in total. Now, I've created 10 different item filters because I'm thinking these end ones could just be overflow if we need it. So for now, I'll block off the end ones. But we have glowstone, sugar. This one would have redstone dust, spider eye, glass bottle, gunpowder, and sticks in this last one. And then these 3 would just be blocked off until we need them. So I've gone ahead and added in all the items except for glass bottles and spider eyes because I don't have any nearby. But as we run the farm, those will automatically get populated. So I guess all we need to do now is run the farm. And as per usual, who am I going to call if I need somebody to AFK? It is, of course, AlienBot himself. Hello, AlienBot.
Why, hello there, Alien.
Are you all okay to AFK for me today at this witch farm?
Yeah, of course I am. That's why I'm stood here, right?
Yeah, of course it is. But anyway, can I just say as well, I feel like the landscape around here is quite nice, especially with all the random stone... Whoa! AlienBot? What? AlienBot? Was that you? Well, of course it was you. There was nobody else. AlienBot, what are you doing?
Oh, sorry, Alien. I must have malfunctioned a little bit. I'm not entirely sure why I did that. Sorry.
AlienBot, you have been acting ever so strange recently. Well, you might want to go get that checked out, but don't worry, no damage. I've got Feather Falling 4, so it wasn't that bad. Just, yeah, be careful. Anyway, I'll see you later. Gotta go and sort out some stuff whilst you AFK here. Thank you. Bye. Well, one thing for sure is that we're definitely going to need to keep an eye on AlienBot. But the good news is that he should have been AFK for quite a long time now. And as you can see here, we actually do have a pretty decent amount of items. Okay, fine. It's not loads of items, but that's because, well, for a start, AlienBot isn't holding a looting 3 sword because I didn't think to tell him. And second of all, it's a witch farm. Witches aren't the fastest spawning thing on Bedrock, but they're still decent. And with the farm complete, I guess all that's left to say is...
Oh, hey, Alien.
What? AlienBot, what are you doing here? I thought I told you to AFK at the witch farm.
You did, but there's something I need to show you. Meet me at my house.
Well, okay then. I guess I will. Wait, is that what I think it is? AlienBot, is that the time machine?
Why, yes, I believe it is Alien.
How did it get here? What did you do?
Oh, well, using my general big brainness, I managed to reconstruct it.
Reconstruct it with what? How did you have all the parts for it? Like, look over here. The wreckage is still here and stuff, so that's not changed. Where did you get all the parts for it?
Oh, don't worry about that. It's the time machine. Come on in, it'll be fun.
Okay, I guess. Hey, AlienBot, where are we going exactly?
Oh, don't worry about it.